Hello, welcome to the Movie Mates podcast, a podcast where we discuss the best place to spend your movie dollar dues. As always, I'm your mate Adam, and joined with me is my mate and your mate too, Ben.
Heyo.
Now I have to say, dear listener, we took a bullet for you this week.
One hell of a bullet.
Because it's a spooky Halloween season, we wanted to do a Halloween movie, but also we kind of promised last episode that we would do something bad. And behold, the perfect union, Hubie Halloween on Netflix right now.
We have 100% delivered on that promise, ladies and gentlemen. There is no doubt in our minds. I mean, I don't think there's any point in delaying it. This is bad. Don't watch this.
This unholy abomination was actually in the top 10 in Australian viewing on Netflix last week.
Yeah.
This might be Adam Sandler's also worst movie he's ever made, like including Jack and Jill. It's so bad.
I haven't seen Jack and Jill, but I can very easily call this the worst Adam Sandler movie that I've ever seen.
It's the worst. I've actually not seen Jack and Jill. I know that's the one that everyone points to as like his worst movie, but I've seen a fair amount of Adam Sandler movies. Some I've liked and some I've disliked, and this is definitely the worst movie I've ever seen him in. That I've personally seen him in. It is. Holy crap! It's bad.
I genuinely think there is literally one thing in the entire movie that I can say that made me chuckle.
Oh yeah,
chuckle, and we'll get into. I'll explain more later after we've kind of explained the premise and whatnot.
Yeah,
but holy hell, this is bad. Jeez.
So this movie is like Adam Sandler's return to comedy after the frankly amazing film that was Uncut Gems. To go back to back with this is something truly special.
I feel like with this one he was just like, how can I channel the most ridiculous characters I have ever played? So think Little Nicky, think Billy Madison, think Happy Gilmore. There is not an ounce of serious thought that went into the development of this character.
No, it's really not. Okay, so we'll get to the synopsis and we'll get to the ground rules of establishing this. Man, I was trying to even think, do we even do spoilers for this? I'm like, do people care?
No. Okay, if you're listening to this, I'm not even going to try to spoil things, but I'm also not going to try not to spoil things. I'm just going to talk and I'm going to tell you how much I hated it. And if you want to still watch it, I mean, go ahead. Like, you can't
it's on you at that point.
You can't spoil this movie, okay? Oh my goodness.
Okay, so this movie, it's about Hubie Dubois or Hubie Doobie. This is just like immediately bad. So I feel like this is Mad Libs, honestly. But no, okay. So Hubie Dubois is an old man. Well, I guess as old as Adam Sandler. So, a middle-aged man living with his mum. He's a virgin, and he's like a lot of Adam Sandler's comedic characters that probably don't age well now. Has mental mental disabilities. It's really it's just like. It's stunning. The movie's stunning. And what happens is Hubie is a coward and a scaredy cat, and he lives in Salem, home of the Salem witch trials, and the whole town hates him. That is basically the characterization of Salem as a whole, is they hate this man for no reason, for absolutely no reason. Yep. And they make his life hell, and his big passion is to make sure everyone stays safe on Halloween. And that's kind of the plot.
That's the premise.
Things start going weird in the town this one Halloween, and he's got to figure out what is going on. I think that's it, right? There's nothing else.
That is the entirety of the premise. There's literally nothing else to it. Like, there is zero redeeming qualities with regards to this movie. There is no plot. There is no genuinely enjoyable characters. There is nothing.
This is amazing to me, honestly. So okay. So I find there's a few really funny things like The movie opens. The movie opens with Ben Stiller reprising his role as like the security guard from Happy Gilmore. Automatically, I was like, what? I was like, oh my God. All right. Okay, cool. Is this going to be like, remember all these other Happy Madison movies that we've done?
Yeah. Pretty much.
And the character of Hubie is basically exactly the same as, you know, the water boy of Billy Madison.
Little Nicky.
The good-hearted idiot, basically.
Yeah, effectively. And legitimately, like, it's the same facial expressions. It's the same way of talking. It's the
but
same
Adam
character.
Sandler's not like 20-something. He's now like in his 50s. How old is Adam Sandler? Wait, I'm gonna look this up. How old is Adam Sandler? How old is Adam Sandler?
I can't get over this.
He's 54. The man is 54.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh boy. This is coming from a place of love, I feel. Like, I really like I am not a highbrow comedy person. I legitimately, to this day, still love The Waterboy.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite movies.
I absolutely love it.
Yeah,
some of my other favorite
absolutely.
comedies of all time is like anything from Broken Lizard. Like, I love Super Troopers. I love Beer Fest. I like dumb, what is in the bracket of what people call stoner comedies. Like, I love that stuff. Yeah. It's so stupid. And I find so much like innocent and just like
joy.
Laughing at poop and fart jokes. Like, great. Absolutely down for that. I want to preface this by saying I'm not a snob in any way, shape, or form when it comes to this. This movie sucks.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am not a snob, but this movie, my God.
It's so, oh my God.
But the funny thing is you can tell that it's intentionally bad. Like,
yeah, like I don't get it.
Literally the only reason I would give anybody to watch this thing is if you purposefully just want to try to find a shitty movie to watch. You just want to...
You want to find garbage. Yeah.
You want garbage to watch. You want to just, like... It's not even garbage to just laugh at. Do you know how people watch, like, B-grade movies because it's
that's
bad?
what I was going to say. This movie isn't even good enough to be bad in a fun way. It's just bad. It's just objectively bad. Which I'm like, I don't know if I'd even recommend it to someone being like, oh, this is really bad. You should give it a watch. There's like... I would maybe recommend this to my brother. And that is the only human being I would recommend this to. Like, and even then, that's kind of a wash, let's be honest. It takes a real depth of knowing a human being for 30 years of my life
to be able
look
to say
someone in their eyes and be like, you should watch this shit movie.
Goodness.
The other things in this movie as well, I was actually having to think about why this thing got made. And the first time I saw an article about this was like 2 screenshots of a news article that was like his very funny quote from last year when he didn't get an Oscar nomination for Uncut Gems. And they said, what are you going to do? And he said, I'm going to make the worst movie you've all ever seen. And like, as a joke, because Adam Sandler knows that a lot of his comedies, people make fun of him. And... And then the second picture of the two was Netflix greenlights next Adam Sandler movie called Hubie Halloween. And it had like a promo shot and people were like, oh no, it's actually he's pulling the trigger. He's gonna do it.
He's going through with it.
The only thing I can think of is why this movie was made is spite. I don't understand the reason of making this movie. And people are in it. There are people of note in this movie. There's
and that's what
Steve
I was gonna say.
Buscemi's in it.
Like, there is a legitimately solid cast. I'm trying to make sense of why they would agree to participate in this. So half of them are his mates.
Even Steve Buscemi. Like, Steve Buscemi has a storied career.
Yeah. But he has a history of working with Adam Sandler. He's been in a few Sandler movies.
And then there's a whole bunch of child actors that I'm like, they're probably just going to be like, I'm in an Adam Sandler movie, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Having said that, though, there are some
The kid from...
that's what I was going to say. There are kids in this movie that I'm like, sure, you're just going to take whatever gig. You're like, oh, cool. Like, it might be crap, but I'm in an Adam Sandler movie. And
But the
I'm
kid
in it.
from Stranger
The kid from
Things.
Stranger Things is in it.
Like, I saw him and I was just like, wait, I recognize that face. Why do I recognize that face? And it wasn't until like almost at the end, I was just like, oh shit. Like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Buddy, why?
But there's other really good like comedic talent in this as well. Like Maya Rudolph is in it.
Yes.
Like it's good.
Mayor Rudolph is in it. And also something that made me chuckle is like Tim Meadows.
Yeah.
He's also in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He's the cannibal. And I feel like
he's funny.
Anytime I see him, that's just what comes to mind. So it just gives me a chuckle just seeing him trying to... And he's just playing a ridiculous character in this one as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is hilariously a fantastic cast for such a
This movie has a
bad
3.8 out of 5 on
Rotten Tomato.
on Google. Google reviews or whatever.
I think it was like
A whole bunch of ones and a whole bunch of fives. Actually, what is
it is a 5.2
5.2
on
in
IMDb. So I mean,
It needs to be lower.
Not the worst.
It needs to be lower.
Rating.
It needs to be way lower. It needs to be like a 3.
Yeah,
It's terrible. Where's the Rotten Tomato score? The Rotten Tomato score, surely it's got to be in the 49%. Come on, it has to be lower. Like, what are we talking about here?
I don't know. I feel like there is definitely the possibility for people to just be like, yes, this is just dumb fun. Like, I get it. I get where people would be coming from if they saw it that way. I just don't. It's not for me. It's most certainly not for me. And maybe you just need to be in the right mindset for it. Maybe you just need to want to be watching something stupid and pointless and not actually funny.
Maybe people are searching for like a dumb comedy, like just something silly and light, and where they can just like not like a bit of simple, silly escapism.
Yeah.
But like, there's better movies. There's better stuff. And people are like, oh, it's got so much heart in it. And I'm like, it's not. It's like
there is
the ending is
no
so
heart in it.
saccharine, and it's so dumb.
Yeah.
It's so it is like the nice ending they try and pull out is basically the reason why everyone hates Hubie, and it's basically what your mum tells you about the school bullies when you are like 6.
Yeah, it's like they're
just
bullying
jealous
you
of you.
It's either they're jealous or they're insecure themselves. Like they have
like,
a reason to hate you. And
I'm like, some people are just assholes. Also, that's just like that is. Like, sometimes people don't need a reason to be a dick, or they're getting, I don't know. I wrote down lines of this movie while I was, like, watching it, because I just couldn't believe words were being said. These words were being uttered in a movie. And one of the jokes was a nun, like, I don't know, Hubie's talking to his girlfriend, or, like, the chick that's clearly interested in him, the love interest, and out of a car, and she's like, she's clearly hitting on him, and she's clearly being like, I'm interested in you. And he's just like,
okay,
like bundling through it because he's like, he likes her, but he's just like an idiot, basically. He doesn't know how to communicate his feelings. And then she drives off, and then a nun who you see earlier in the thing, but like, who again treats him like shit and just dumps a whole bunch. Like, he spends all his time doing work and making word jumbles or something. Is literally that bad.
Yeah.
And then she takes him and just throws him in the bin in front of him.
Like right in front of him.
I was like, okay, cool. I mean, the nun's a dick, all right, and that's funny, I guess. And then later, like, this nun comes up behind him when his love interest is driving off, and she literally says the words, "I'm asexual, but that woman makes me hella horny."
Yeah.
And then Adam Sandler just kind of looks at her, and then it cuts, and that's the end of the scene. And I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
What is this? Like, where was the joke, Adam?
That's the joke.
Oh my God. I'm trying to think. Was there any moment in this movie where you legitimately like had a chuckle and was like, oh yeah, that's pretty funny?
There was nothing that gave me a good laugh. But one thing that I was just like, I kind of enjoyed that, was how when he's just cycling down the street, anyone and everybody just throws shit at him. And initially it was just like, okay, yeah, this is what's happening.
Some eggs.
But then it was like a repeated gag. And I was just like,
every time it repeated, they threw bigger things.
It got progressively more larger and more deadly. Like by the end, it was like a flaming spear got thrown and like embedded into the tree next to him. So initially I was just like, oh, okay, a repeated gag, whatever. But then by the third, fourth time, I was just like, you know what? I kind of like that. Like,
It wore you down.
yeah. But that was it.
It's like, you laugh at this eventually.
I will keep throwing this gag at you until you laugh, and if you don't, it just keeps coming. So no, that was genuinely the one thing that I was just like, okay, yeah, I enjoyed that. But otherwise, I don't think there was anything that made me laugh. Like the Shaq reveal, nope.
The one time I had a laugh, and it was not a joke in the movie, although I was like, you know what? This is like the one time they didn't overstate a joke, and I kind of found it funny. They did it multiple times, is every time, even if it was in like the time span of the movie of like 10 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever, every time his mum would come on shot, she'd be wearing a different t-shirt.
Yeah,
and the joke they said at the start is that she bought a whole bunch of shirts at the op shop and didn't know what any of them meant.
Yeah.
And the first one they had this big conversation about boner donor, and I was like, yeah, this conversation sucks and this is not funny.
And then the next one was like muff diving, and then
and it was like careful on muff diving, or like or there was another one is like or her friend was wearing a shirt saying it won't lick itself with an arrow down, and I was like, okay, that's like, okay, again, that shows the level of comedy that I do find funny. So I'm not being pretentious when I say this movie's bad, because I found that funny. I was like, okay, that is a ridiculous shirt for an old woman to be wearing.
And I love it.
Okay, haha.
Yeah.
I just remember you messaging me. Literally, we just finished watching Midway, which is a war movie. I watched some really good movies this week, and we're reviewing this one. I don't know why. I watched Midway, which was like, it's all right. It's a war movie about Battle of Midway, the Americans versus the Japanese soldiers in World War II. It was like an aerial dogfighting kind of movie, and it wasn't bad. Like, it's a little forgettable in places, and it was like kind of to me, it was visually very impressive, but I don't think it really broke the mold for me in terms of any big, like The Five Bloods is hands down a more interesting experience for a war movie.
Right.
Yeah. So as I was saying in the last episode, I was like, war movies are pretty forgettable for me. And this is more on the forgettable side, but it was still good. I still didn't regret my time. Anyway, that was my 30-second review of Midway. but that's how badly I don't want to talk about this movie.
Right.
But
I will review another movie in the process of reviewing this movie.
I finished this movie. Yeah, go watch Midway. It's fine. And then we watched that, and Leah's like, okay, that was good. I'm going to go to bed now. I was like, okay, cool. Well, I guess I probably should watch Hubie Halloween, because we said we would watch it.
Yep.
And then I watched it like after that, and I was like, I just should have gone to bed. I
regret this decision.
I was like, oh my God. And then
what a way to end the night.
Do you want to tell the audience how you watched this movie? Because I enjoyed that very much.
Well, initially when we were talking about it, I was just like, all right, well, I can watch this, but like yesterday I was basically had a date day, so I was busy the whole day. So I was just like, you know what, I'll watch it after work tomorrow. Just finish my day, like jump straight into it, watch it, and then we can record the podcast right after. Then I was just like, you know, I'm going to watch it on my own because I do not want to subject my partner to this. And rightly so, because less than a minute into it, my message to you was...
The first joke is a projectile vomit on his bicycle. And I was like...
I saw that. I was just like...
Okay, here we go.
Because it was like they threw eggs at him and he caught it with his thermos. And then he just shakes it up and drinks it. And then he just vomits as he's going, like casually.
That's it. That's the joke. And I was like, what is this movie?
Jesus. And literally my message to you was watching Hubie Halloween now, already hating myself.
And then I think I messaged you like laughing and saying, oh, well, enjoy. Yeah. And then it was like 30 minutes later, you're like, I hate it.
It's just, it was so bad. It was just so bad. God.
Man, this is...
No.
Yeah, it's a hell of a thing.
Yeah. Having said all of that, there is one section that I'm actually going to show to my partner because it is very reminiscent of our relationship because she's in Melbourne.
Oh my God. Like, what? Okay, yeah.
She's in Melbourne And so basically our entire relationship has been virtual so far, just long distance and literal border closure.
In the hell year lockdown,
Exactly.
Yes.
So the one point that I just like, actually this did make me chuckle simply because it was relatable, was where Huey was on the news and he said the message to, I guess, his love interest. I can't even remember his name.
And they like he tongues the camera and she tongues her TV.
And she starts making out with the TV. And I was just like, oh, Jesus. But it's funny because like my partner and I have this running joke where we just pull the most ridiculous faces and act as if we're making out with the camera. Just so,
God.
So I was just like,
you guys are that's sappy, and I hate the fact that joke is actually based in reality. Because I looked at that and went, no rational human being would do that.
Exactly. I think rationality has gone well out the window for us.
Oh my gosh. Like, I can't state how much I love Adam Sandler and hate this movie in one sentence.
In one and the same.
I just can't.
Yeah.
I can't put this together. Also, I wrote down at the end of the movie, I don't know whether this was me being insightful or me in the state of watching this movie. I had lost my mind completely. I wrote, we, the movie-going audience, are the people of Salem who ridicule Adam Sandler but not acknowledge that we're all just really jealous of him.
This is very profound, Adam. Well done. Oh, goodness. Oh, my God.
Oh, man. I honestly, reading back my notes because generally, a bit behind the scenes, like I'll always write notes when we're going to review a film as we're going through it, because obviously like writing stuff down kind of helps me clarify my thoughts, or even I'll do some notes and stuff after watching it and kind of sitting it and stewing with me for a little bit. Reading my notes back of this movie was funnier than the movie itself because I was laughing at just the comments you made. What I had written. I was like, what did I put myself?
What was I watching? Like, what happened?
Why did I decide to do this? Oh my God. But yeah, it's a hell of a film.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
The one thing that I honestly, like, jokes aside, that I'm worried about is I really hope that like he does another like
Uncut Gems.
I hope the experience of and the reception of Uncut Gems doesn't sour him from doing more stuff like that. I think he's been kind of drifting into that realm for a lot, and he likes that stuff more. I really hope that he does more of it, because I found that stuff really engaging.
Yeah.
And I found this stuff just terrible. Like, honestly, I don't understand what the people's issue is. Is like, I know Adam Sandler has to get paid. Like, I know how that works. But like, guys, if you love these movies, just watch Happy Gilmore again. Watch Billy Madison. Those movies aren't going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And I think Adam Sandler has earned the right to do something that's not this crap, like, consistently, or feel like he's beholden to keep doing these same movies.
Yeah.
Like, just don't, like, this doesn't need to exist at all for any reason.
Like, guys, please, no more.
Yeah, like,
Help.
surely we can get a better experience.
Nah.
Like, and Adam Sandler can enjoy his life.
Nah,
like, surely.
Stop being such a pretentious ass, Adam. We want what Adam Sandler has given us for the past 20 years, and that is what we will continue to demand of the man.
I think it's funny that everyone else signed up for it as well still. Like, I still laugh that Ben Stiller was, like, got the script and was like, yeah, sure.
Like,
and then Steve Buscemi's like, sure, like an insane werewolf man? Sure. Rob Schneider's like, oh, I get to pee my pants on screen? Sure.
Yes.
Like,
oh,
no one even questioned it.
Yeah.
No one even thought about it. It was like, yeah, absolutely.
It's actually funny because I hadn't seen Ben Stiller for such a long time. Like, I haven't seen him do anything for ages. And then for him to just jump in and be like, here I am. Like, I'm being a dick security guard all over again in this ridiculous movie.
Remember
I was just
this
like,
role that I did like 20 years ago? That was a bit part as well. And you're like, okay.
Oh god. And it's like the same mustache, the same sort of like scrubs, the same just like character.
Oh, it's the same character. He's got the same name tag
Was
on.
it?
It's like
I
unbelievable.
didn't even
It's the
notice
same
that.
character.
Oh, okay,
it's
there
the
you go.
same character.
There you
It's the
go.
same dude. I was like, what a reprisal. What a reprisal. I just think Adam Sandler movies must be the most fun movies to make in the world, right? They must be so much fun for everyone to keep signing up.
And just coming
and just
back
being
for
like,
it again and again.
Sure,
Yeah.
this movie sucks. Like, it's going to be a paycheck and I'm going to have a fun time at work. It's like one of those, I was told this a long, long time ago about full-time employment, and I've always remembered it, is that you'll always have three things in a job, and every job boils down to three things, and you know it's a great job if you've got two of them. One is the pay, one is the people you work with, and the other is the work that you do, like how fulfilling is it. And if you get 2 out of 3, that's a good job, and you should consider it before you jump ship off a job that has 2 out of 3. Because a lot of the time you only ever get one of those 3, or none of them, basically. And I just feel that these Adam Sandler movies are the classic 9 to 5. This is a 2 out of 3 job. I love the people I'm working with. They're all my friends, and we're making money.
Yeah. And that's the point of it, right?
Is the work we're doing meaningful?
There is zero
do we give a shit? No.
Zero artistic outlet, zero creativity. It's just, hey, let's hang out, record it, and off we go. I think I get a similar vibe from James Franco movies, the likes of A Pineapple Express, the likes of This Is the End, the likes of Sausage Party, stuff like that.
Basically the Seth Rogen crew.
Seth Rogen and James Franco. Yeah.
They've been like, hey, we're going to make money and we're going to make a fun movie. And the movie might be good because, Seth Rogen movies have been some of them are with that cast, are super solid. Some of them, meh. But yeah, they might be what we make might be good, it might be bad, but we're out there hanging out with friends and making money. So,
kicking it.
We're not going to complain, right? I'll tell you what, if there's one shining light for this movie, is that I know that Adam Sandler probably had an absolute blast making it, and everyone on set had a great time, and everyone went home with a paycheck, and that's
the story.
That's the best thing I can say about this movie.
So in conclusion,
that's it.
Guys, just don't watch it.
Do not watch it. You know what? The thing is that I kind of feel like we shouldn't just dunk on a movie and be like, well, that's the episode. We need to recommend something, right?
I don't know. Right? Do we?
I feel like I should just tell everyone, please watch Uncut Gems.
Okay, yeah, that's a fair call. You
just watch that.
Don't watch this. Watch Uncut Gems instead. Fantastic.
Just watch something. But don't. If you're gonna watch a Halloween movie, maybe and you've got young children, maybe Hubie Halloween is something that you might have to
actually.
Just
That is a good point. I didn't even think about it from that perspective. I was purely thinking about it from my own personal perspective and our usual cohorts. I actually think kids would enjoy this. It is just dumb jokes, dumb fart jokes.
Yeah.
Now that we're talking about it, I genuinely think that kids would be like, haha, he said poop.
He said boner.
He said boner. Yeah. So, if you have kids, chuck it on for them. And you just kind of do your own thing and separately.
It's got the message of don't bully kids. And you're like, okay.
Yeah. And
don't bully people with mental disabilities, I guess is the lesson of this. And then they make him the mayor. We haven't even talked about that. This movie makes no sense. Now I'm angry again.
We do not need to get into that. I said, okay, the last message I sent you when it came to recording this is literally as soon as I finished it, I was like, are you good to smash out the cast now so I never have to think about this again? I want to stop thinking about this. Please.
Okay. So with that, we will leave this episode here.
Yes.
I want to thank everyone for listening to the podcast and checking us out. If you haven't subscribed already and liked what you've heard, maybe like what we've said, maybe not what the movie is. Maybe go and click on that subscribe button or follow or, whatever the button is to, keep up to date with new episodes. If you really liked what you've heard, if you could give a review, a 5-star review, please don't review tank us.
Please don't give it 1 star.
I know maybe the movie's worth 1 star. Maybe if you are Hubie Halloween's, give us 1 star. Actually, no, I'm not going to make that joke. I was like, give us 1 star if, you really like Hubie Halloween, but please don't. Please give us 5 stars and say, the podcast is really great. Maybe they're a little harsh on Hubie Halloween, but otherwise it's all right. All that stuff really helps us out to be found by more people.
Exactly.
Because there's lots of podcasts out there, lots of movie podcasts out there.
Absolutely. And if you can as well, please just
Yes.
word of mouth. Let other people know that there's this funky little podcast going that goes through movies, mostly good movies, but every once in a while you get a Hubie Halloween in the mix.
Which is fun, that's still good, right? You get to laugh, and maybe really, if you really want to subject yourself to it, you can go watch it after that as well. But really, realistically, Ben, we're going to be honest, if the only people you're going to be recommending to listen to this episode is people that love watching this kind of awful content, or people you actively hate and wish nothing but misery in their lives.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
Oh my God.
And lastly, as well, feel free to give us some suggestions, like whether it's in the comments, whether it's by jumping into our Discord, which will be in the links with the podcast and the such. And just give us your thoughts and feels. If you genuinely enjoyed it, jump on and let us know why, and we will laugh at you.
I would love. No, Ben. I would genuinely, I'm going to put this out here. I would genuinely love to hear from someone
who enjoys
that really liked this movie. That unironically, I want to put that first, unironically enjoyed this movie.
And I promise not to laugh.
And I would love to have a conversation about why you like this movie, because I couldn't understand.
It's like now you can't fathom anybody enjoying
anyone
it.
watching this movie. But maybe I'm super off base. Maybe it's like, man, that was really harsh. I really liked it. And like, okay, cool.
Tell us why.
I'm more than willing to have a
why.
discussion about that. I would love that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Thank you guys very much. We've certainly appreciated your listening through this to this point. We've already shared the ins and outs of the checking us out wherever you may have available. But we look forward to having you listen through on our next cast. Hopefully not another Hubie Halloween, but hey, who knows? We'll see what it looks like. But
please.
We'll talk.
I can't do this anymore, man.
We're
one bad movie and I gotta pull the plug.
We'll see you all next time. Bye.
Bye. Oh my God.